What's up, wrestling fans? It's Joe Cronin here with Jake DeMarco at Joe Cronin JCS on Twitter, at Countdown Ended for Jake DeMarco. Also, click that red subscribe button down below if you can. If you haven't already, click the like button, stick thumb my ass. So real quick to start this off, I just want to mention the Smackdown viewership. We talked about the Raw viewership the other day being up. Raw did about a 3.1 or so about 3,100,000 watched. Looks like SmackDown is down 7%, but I think SmackDown will probably see that increase next week because of how well this show was, which it was 2.6 million. So it is almost 500,000 less viewers on SmackDown, which is just a shame. But I mean, that's because of Goldberg and all that crap, because the better show ended up being SmackDown. So not even close. SmackDown with an 8.5 in my book. Raw with about a 4. So you can have all the viewers you want. The quality of the show much better on SmackDown.
Especially with the go-home show, too, for their pay-per-view. I feel that, SmackDown really stepped up, and they not only developed the feuds further and continued the stories for Sunday's Elimination Chamber, but they also gave you multiple reasons to want to watch Elimination Chamber. And I feel like that's something Raw hasn't done in years.
Right. Yeah, they... It's sad. It's crazy, too. It's giving them a skewed, because that's all they're looking at is the numbers, and they're just going to say, wow, we're doing something great. Yeah, you're doing something great. You're hiring old box office wrestlers with big names to come back on your show. And what does that say for Cena that people aren't showing up either like that? So this is a guy who dragged the company out of a 2 and 3 rating to get it more up around the 4s and 5s.
Yeah, I mean, Cena is still bringing in the views, and his merchandise sales are still up. But as we know, Goldberg's a big draw. Same thing with Brock Lesnar, Undertaker, all these names. But the problem is, what happens when they leave after WrestleMania, or their dates are sparse and they're not going to be back till what, SummerSlam, if at all? Then what do? They took away the focus from the up and coming stars, and then no one has a reason to watch again, and the ratings go back in the shitter.
Right. Well, that's it. That's really, I just wanted to talk about the SmackDown ratings as far as that goes. But as far as something you mentioned about Mick Foley possibly retiring, I mean, I think he does need to take it easy, but it would be surprising to me for him to just say, I am actually, retiring, and that's it,
Yeah, I mean, the article here had said that Cage Side Seats mentioned the 51-year-old wrestler began in 1986. He's gone through multiple surgeries. He's had enough, and he certainly needs to take a hiatus from the business. And right now it's the constant travel. He needs hip surgery, and it was apparently rumored that the company had said that following WrestleMania, they doubt they see him continuing as the general manager of Monday Night Raw.
Right. And that's really, I looked around the news. There's not a lot of news today. I mean, I know that Paige is going to the MMA. Everyone's sending me stuff about Paige going to the MMA. I'm just done with Paige. I don't know what she's doing, what her career is about anymore. I don't understand, and I don't care. And I hope she does go away, because I'm just sick of hearing about her at this point. I mean, come back or just shut up.
It's that situation is so hard to digest and fathom. First, we go ahead and we hear news that The Rock is, in cahoots with other stars to make a movie about Paige's life. And then they go ahead and we find out that, Alberto Del Rio's got his MMA gym down in, I believe it's Texas. Article doesn't say it here, but Paige has been training for MMA, and she said, direct quote is, when my time with WWE comes to an end, she'll take a serious look in considering making the move to MMA. So She could become a cage fighter next.
Did you read this article about Mike Adamle, that he's like acute dementia, or he's getting dementia?
No, I hadn't seen that one.
I mean, it was kind of sad, because as soon as I heard about it, I knew all the jokes that were coming. Like, oh, that's why, he thought it was Jeff Harvey. And
anything straight.
Right.
Yeah. The only other thing that I saw today is more rumors about why people think that Eva Marie is definitely done with the WWE. So the rumor reel keeps spitting it out today with her. It's rather odd that the Red Queen would remove the information from her Twitter profile entirely, especially considering the WWE's focus on the use of social media as everything nowadays. People also did additional investigations into her, and she's still listed as a WWE superstar, including her affiliation with Total Divas on her Instagram and Facebook. So it's just Twitter right now that she removed WWE star from her bio and unfollowed the company.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that the whole thing is ridiculous. I mean, Eva Marie, all that waste, but it's just a waste of time. It seemed like it was going. So Eva Marie has pissed me off. Paige has pissed me off. Emelina won't friggin' debut. That's pissing me off. And quite frankly, she may end up being the biggest heel because that crowd may boo her to hell. I don't know if the crowd, depending on the crowd, if they'll cheer like crazy when she shows up or if they'll boo like crazy. What do you think's going to happen?
I think, it might incite a bit of a riot. I mean, people have been waiting as of right now, as of, February 5th, this article says it's been 125 days since the first Emelina vignette debuted on Raw. So, and it was in the December 12th edition of Raw that they said that she was going to debut the first time. And since then, we've waited, another 90-something days. So it's just a bit ridiculous at this point. Actually, it's beyond ridiculous. And I think when she does show up, people are either going to be so filled with rage that they'll boo her out of the building, or they're just not going to care. It's going to blow up in the company's face.
What do you think the odds are that she shows up this Monday, even though this is now the second time they've actually said she debuts next Monday? This is the second time now. What are the odds you think she actually shows up?
I say it's slim to none. I don't really think there's much of a chance she's going to debut. I know that's not the most liked opinion, but there's been a lot of reports that you and I were discussing that says there seems to be no plan for Emma to be brought back to WWE TV, and they think
why would they write she's debuting? Why would they write she's debuting again?
I don't know why they would do it the first time. For her to tweet out, "Oh, you guys really want me? Well, I'll be there when I decide to be." I just don't think they have a plan for her, and they just keep saying this to try and spark interest again.
Yeah, it's really pissing everyone off.
Because who is she going to face? Every other, of the four main women on the show have a feud already. Sasha Banks is with Nia Jax, and Bayley and Charlotte are doing their program currently. Dana Brooke is injured, I believe, still. So I would that's what we're left with.
First of all, because Raw sucks. They can't write the women what so goddamn ever. But what I would do is at least, I would just have her go out there and her interaction is with the audience. I would have Emelina just interact with the audience, almost pretend like she's not even there for any wrestling. Pretend like she's not even there. Just have her go out there and troll people.
That would be great, but I really do not feel that we're going to see her Monday night on Raw.
Well, there you go. If she doesn't show up on Raw this Monday, you heard it from Jake DeMarco. I'm not ready to commit to that. But I'll tell you what, if she's not there, I mean, I may go nuts. I may freak out on Twitter like you wouldn't believe if she doesn't show up.
I don't blame you. I mean, last time she said, "Oh, you want it to be all about you. I'll be there when I'm ready."
Right. Well, I mean, for me, that's about everything. I mean, I wanted to cover all these little stories with you and just talk about them kind of. The Mike Adamle thing is sad, though. But I guess it's like from concussions he had in football. I don't know, but that's all there is to it there, to be honest. You can go read up on that, I suppose. People can read up on that themselves.
You don't want to see anybody with a serious brain injury or disease. That's just very unfortunate to hear.
It's man, I'm getting over the cold. It's getting better. But I'm surprised. I just started off because I was surprised that the Smackdown ratings went down. I just really was. I thought they were going to go up.
Especially with the intrigue building towards the Elimination Chamber. I agree with you there.
And the thing about it is, I think they'll go up next week, perhaps, and especially after what happens at the Chamber. I'm curious to see what the new Chamber looks like. Have you seen any photos of the new Chamber yet?
Nothing. I was going to bring this up to you as well. I mean, they keep touting over and over. It's a brand new Elimination Chamber. I think it's just going to be a little bit smaller. As we had noted before, I mean, that's the reason why they stopped doing the pay-per-view entirely, the gimmick of the match, because it wouldn't be able to fit into most arenas around the country. So,
right. Well, I think it's despicable that the ratings have dropped to SmackDown when it's been so much of a better show. And I think that Raw is using these big stars to inflate their numbers, and I think it means trouble, despite the increase in numbers. I think further down the road they're in trouble if they don't start writing a little bit better.
Absolutely. You can only rely on the legends for so long.
Well, guys, more stuff coming. Out of Nowhere is tonight. We're going to be starting earlier, maybe around 10:30 for Out of Nowhere. So make sure to be aware and available for that. Right on my channel, Out of Nowhere with JD from New York. Thanks to Jake DeMarco at Countdown Ended on Twitter, at Joe Cronin JCS on Twitter. And, of course, watch the other videos that you might have missed before this. And we'll see you guys. I'll see you guys tonight.